So I'm meeting with Bob Weissman, agency specialist, and what are we talking about today, Bob?
All right, Mark, today what we're talking about is having a specialty, having domain expertise, which separates you from your competition, which makes you different. So it's differentiation in a lot of ways.
Right.
Okay, so what we know is in many cases, agencies attempt or try to do everything for everybody. And that position is not a very strong position because really what you're doing is standing for nothing.
Right.
You know, that's where you're coming from. So what you have to be able to do as an agency is decide, what are you really good at? What are you great at? And be able to articulate that position. Okay, so in many cases, the way that people get business is by understanding their client's business, not necessarily have a capability or their service, but when you're talking to a prospect, making sure that you relate to them, relate to their situation, their challenges, their problems, their industry, okay? You make sure you understand their persona. Who are they? What do they look at? What are their pain points? You know, what keeps them up at night, etc. And of course, so what we say in many cases, that industry expertise matters.
Right.
Okay? Having an understanding of whether it be the auto industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the utility industry, whatever it may be. And of course, in today's world, the internet provides a unique opportunity to do research. Okay? So beyond the fact of looking at somebody's website, reading their emails, reading their blog posts, reading their press releases, you have the ability to do a tremendous amount of research on the industry that they serve so that when you're talking to the client, you can relate to them, okay? Ultimately, what we want to make sure we do when we're having a conversation with our salespeople or whoever's going to be interfacing with the client is we role play that interface before we get in there. We make sure we have an objective of that conversation. What is it that we want to happen at the end of that conversation? And ultimately, we want to be able to anticipate any kind of objection that they may have. So again, I strongly suggest that whether it be a phone conversation, whether it be you're going a face-to-face meeting, that you role play that interaction prior to going out there. Now, what we also understand in developing domain expertise is many agencies fear conflict. They fear the fact that, oh my God, I'm going to be talking to this client and you're doing business with somebody else in that industry. Well, of course, that's a ticklish situation. We understand that. But in most cases, domain expertise far outweighs that case. You know, and ultimately, what I oftentimes will recommend to people is, okay, you may need to expand geographically, okay, because clearly you don't want to do business with the exact two clients a block apart from each other. But for most people, it's just a matter of, do they understand my business? So having a domain expertise, clearly what you're really good at matters. So that's it.
Okay, so if you need help defining that domain expertise, making that part of your strategic plan, Bob Weissman is your guy, agency specialist, Bob Weissman.
Thanks.